Just a reminder, these are areas of weakness that we've identified in the past. Why am I being so picky with you at this point?
Because we should be perfect.
Because you're so nice with it. You're so great at pop-up debate, and now it's your fate to improve at these items. So, I want to remind you to move your body a bit more to facilitate eye contact. People in the middle of the class, we will all happily wait for you to move a bit more so that you can look at more of us deep into our eyes and make us feel known and safe in this dangerous and scary world. You got me on that? Thanks, JKP. Watch for fillers. The like machine guns that sometimes unleash from your mouths, we want to try to turn those machine guns off. Haven't machine guns killed enough people in the world wars, guys? They have.
Is that your pocket?
So let's eliminate. Let's eliminate and let's also watch for those unnecessary starters. I'm talking about the viruses that can sometimes spread in a pop-up debate where 5 people in a row say, I said blah, 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 or I put blah, 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 blah. Instead, we want to say, the most interesting aspect of World War II is blank. Or even better, we want to go off what someone else said. So we can say, Toopsie, you argued that the most interesting aspect is the Holocaust, to which I say, have you no soul, sir? Why must we find this so interesting? Instead, I'd like to say the most interesting thing is the Weimar Republic and how weak it was and made Hitler hate it. That would be an example of not using a mindless starter and also refuting. Okay, refuting makes the debate more fun. It's a great life skill, so that's why we're practicing that. Without further ado, I'm gonna let. I know we're gonna have to have someone else start us today.
Lincoln always
I'm gonna have Bethlehem keep track. And go.
The most important aspect.
I said the most important aspect of World War II was D-Day because it's like pretty crazy, like the size, like the invasion, and because it's pretty fun game mode on Fortnite. So that's pretty fun.
I learned something new today.
The most interesting aspect of World War II is the turning of the tide from the Nazis to the Allied powers, and I say this because like they had all the force and the momentum with like the Blitzkrieg and everything, just sweeping their way through Europe, taking France, just taking all these Balkan states, and then just out of nowhere, like when Hitler thought it was like a good idea to attack Russia, and then bam, out of nowhere, they just started pushing them back, and then like UK by itself just somehow managed to take the power, and then it changed the entire outcome of the battle.
Caleb, if you compare your filler words to last debate, you are going to be very, very happy. Excellent. Excellent work. Keep going, guys.
I think the most interesting aspect of World War II is the rate at which technology like expanded or advanced, because you went from the slow like wood and canvas airplanes during World War I to near the end of World War II, the Germans created the first jet plane, and tanks were from these slow just metal boxes basically that got stuck to the big armored tanks like the Tiger.
Nice, Dino. The specific argumentation there.
Alright, I'm gonna have to agree with Landon and Luke, mainly, but like in a different way, because I think that Oppenheimer, the man who created and was the director of the Manhattan Project, was the most interesting part, because he went from being a physicist to the man who created the atomic bomb. He also owned the ranch, and he did this all with tuberculosis. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. I just looked it up, and he had tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
But anyways, it's weird how he started by being a professor at a physics, Caltech, and Harvard, and then he went and created the atomic bomb, the most deadliest and most destructive weapon of all history.
Let's go with Korbachi.
I would have to bring up, I feel like the most interesting part of World War II is the nuclear weapons. And it has been used a lot, but I find the most interesting part about it is that they brought a bunch of people that normally would not come together, or at least in this size, to come to this one huge project
which they used twice and never touched again.
I think the most interesting was like all the flaws in the Treaty of Versailles, because there was like 3 major ones, but it's interesting how bad some of it could be. Like, it ended World War One, but it didn't really, it just like postponed it and gave them like a break.
Very good.
I said the most interesting aspect of World War II was its advances in technology, like nuclear weapons, and then the atomic bombing in Hiroshima, which helped the U.S. defeat Japan.
So I agree with Elder K, and I said the atomic bomb was the most interesting because it completely changed how like wars can be fought, and the extreme danger and like disruption like occurred because of that.
The Battle of Stalingrad was the most interesting aspect of World War II. It was kind of the turning point for the war, and it stopped the Germans from getting farther into the Soviet Union.
Most interesting aspect of World War II is when air battles started becoming a thing, because during the Battle of Britain, after that happened, the amount of people that would die during wars increased dramatically.
All right, I want you guys to share with your partner what on this screen did you pay attention to when you spoke? And if the answer is none, you forgot, that's okay, but share that. Go ahead. Okay, let's bring it back. How many people forgot? Just forgot to think about it, you kind of blanked out, you were in the moment. A little bit, yeah, and it's normal because it's a high stress situation, and in high stress situations, we revert to kind of blanking out sometimes. Okay, so this is normal. We're gonna keep trying to focus on nitpicky stuff. Why am I being picky with you now? Because basically you're good enough to where I can be. You guys have demonstrated proficiency at pop-up debate. Now we're going for mastery, excellence. Okay. Some things that I noticed that were really good that are not on here is how you end. It's common for novice debaters to end by kind of like trailing off and like just kind of like sitting down. Or they'll end by saying, so yeah, like just some little weird filler to just show that they're done. But a lot of you just ended with your final statement and you sat down. It was good. Allie, even yours was a good example of that. Like, said what I said, sitting down. A lot of you did that. That's great. You don't need to kind of telecast that you're finished with anything besides your booty going back in your chair. That lets us know that you're done. So you can let your words just speak your final statement and conclude. Did anyone notice any things that as a class we could work on that aren't on this? I mean, I think eye contact is still a problem. Still something that could get better. I noticed some filler words. I noticed some starter patterns. But anything else that needs to be added that we can improve? We're back from a long break, so to me the sort of lack of energy, did you notice the lack of energy? To me that's just, it's 8 in the morning after break. So I don't view that as a problem.
Hand gestures.
Hand gestures? Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Adding gestures into our thought process. You know, that's part of PVLEGS. I like it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get on our computers and take some practice multiple choice questions.